I mean, they're putting this wedding up there with Princess Diana and Prince Charles when they got married back in the late 80s or whatever. You know, the world was up.
Is the biggest sports story of the week not even about sports? We got Taylor Swift, we got Travis Kelce, and wedding bells that could break the internet. Plus, the Giannis and Ja Morant trade, LeBron is back in the news, Serena's return, Chris Johnson's heartbreaking diagnosis, and Haiti's World Cup controversial journey. Welcome back to Bros on Pros, where fans come first and we say what everyone is always thinking. I'm Marquis.
And I'm Terrence. And if you like conversations without the hot take nonsense, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the Bros on Pros family. Because the algorithm may not love us just yet, but hold on, you too can help fix that. Enough of this intro now. Let's get into the main event.
Time now for the main event.
Taylor Swift and Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce may be getting married during 4th of July weekend at Madison Square Garden. While the couple hasn't confirmed the wedding, multiple reports say the venue has been reserved, street closures have been filed, and NFL players and celebrities have been spotted making plans to be in New York City. This has become more than just a celebrity story. It's one of the biggest sports and pop culture events of the year. So here's the question. Has Travis Kelce become the biggest athlete in America because of his relationship with Taylor Swift? Or would he have reached that level anyways? Terrence, we'll start with you.
You know what? No, and no. No and no. No, he's not the biggest name in sports. And no, he's not set himself as the best athlete in this because of this business move. That's what it is. It's a business move, Marquis. You're
Really?
marrying one of the richest entertainers in the world. Kind of put you to mind, and I'll say this, and you'll hear this first, and probably won't be the last time, or may not be the first time you heard this, but I think that's the whole Jay-Z Beyonce thing. It's a business move. It was a business relationship. You know, she's rising, or at the time was a rising pop star, or she was already at the top. So he's just smart guy, you know, married up. This marriage has nothing to do with his position or the team or what he's done in the NFL. Is he one of the great tight ends in the NFL? Yeah, absolutely. He's up there. But marrying Taylor Swift doesn't make him a move. Now, if you want to talk business, it's good for the NFL because now you brought all her little Swiftie followings to a game that now they know who Travis Kelce is. Now they know who the Kansas City Chiefs is. Now they know what the NFL is about. So it was a great business move.
You know, I would have to say on my behalf, whatever, that I would agree with you on that. Even though, you know, normally I would say or go against you in that sense, I would agree on the simple fact of, you know what? Travis is not bigger, of course, than, you know, the sport. No athlete, I think, will ever kind of be bigger than, you know what I'm saying, the sport in the NFL. Plus, not to mention, if you just kind of talk about all the accolades that this man has from 3 Super Bowls, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. Like you said, he's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. I mean, he was all of that before she came along. Now, has he kind of been more accessible to pop culture? Of course. But I mean, look at this. You're right. I mean, with the whole Swiftie things, with the whole business aspect, with it being bigger, you know, for the NFL. NFL's making a lot of money. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if I see some cameramen from the NFL there actually doing that like a game, you know, in Madison Square Garden. But if we just get back to the original question, people, about whether or not Taylor is making him bigger, no, he's not. When Taylor came into this situation anyway, my whole thing is that we need to be talking about football more than we need to be talking about entertainment and pop culture. Because at the end of the day, it is about damn football. Now, I have no problem, you know, with this whole other pop culture coming along. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we are not escaping football and that we are not just all about Taylor. Because to be honest with you, it sounds like lately, Terrence, it's not going to be Travis Kelce. It's going to be Travis Swift.
Yeah, right. We already know, like, come week 1, that's all you're going to hear. You're going to hear about this wedding for years to come. I mean, they're putting this wedding up there with Princess Diana and Prince Charles when they got married back in the late 80s or whatever. You know, the world was up, you know, up all day, all night, looking at the celebration. So it's going to be that. The streets of New York are going to be packed once again. Also, probably the police and the security or practice. The Knicks championship parade was a practice to the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fan control.
Well, wait a minute.
So,
I don't
you know,
think
these
it-
streets are going to
well,
be packed, man.
yeah, I don't think
You
it's going to
already
be.
know.
I don't think it might be that much of people or whatever.
You
I
already
don't
know,
think it
man.
might
She
be
has a
like
huge
that
fan
people.
base.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she has. Don't get me wrong. She has a huge fan base, and I mean, the girl's a billionaire, and I mean, you know,
You don't think she's going to shut down the street, the city?
I think that's actually a good question. You know what? Let me change my thought. Yeah, they might. Them damn Swifties and all them. They're gonna shut down the damn what call it. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because that's all I have for that situation.
The biggest NBA moves of the summer just happened. Two of the NBA's biggest stars were moved in blockbuster trades, and two franchises are hoping a change of zip code changes everything. Giannis is heading to Miami to chase another championship, while Ja Morant is getting a fresh start in Portland, and LeBron is leaving LA. So here's the question: can a new city change a player's legacy? Or do superstars eventually become exactly who they are? Marquis, let's start with you.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this, and I know that my boy is not gonna like me saying this. Okay, I'm gonna say that I'm a huge fan in regards of a hero to this situation. Why? Because I'm a huge LeBron fan. Everybody know that. Not to mention, new locations for new people always, I think, can give you life. Like LeBron, he went to Miami. Shaq, he went to Miami. Like, this is like a ongoing thing about Miami. I mean, it's like a what's it called, like Shaq and LeBron. And then like Kevin Garnett, he went to Boston. So with all that being said, of course, I think that people moving on to a different location is the best scenario if it's not working. Not to mention, we were just discussing about LeBron in regards of where he would go, what he would do in order to win another championship. If he teams up with Giannis and a depot in Miami, guess what, my bro? He's going to have another championship, which you are not going to like. What do you got to say about that, Terrence?
LeDon James. He should be done. LeDon James is done. This man is desperately trying to find buy himself a championship. It's like what I said in episode 1 and 2 about the NBA. It's a soap opera, man. Like, you want to leave the Lakers. Why do you want to leave the Lakers? Oh, I want to chase a legacy. I want to go play with you. Man, come on, man. You're too old to be trying to link up with these cats. Yeah, you might could drop 20 with supporting cast. Will he make a difference if he goes to Miami? Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not discrediting the man. I just hate the hype. I hate the hype. I hate that he has to jump around to try to find success. Whereas the greatest of all times, let me clarify to my co-host who that is, Michael Jordan, got 6 championship rings under one team, mediocre players, and a Hall of Fame coach. Not saying Scottie Pippen's a mediocre player, but I am saying this, and I said this before. Scottie Pippen would not be Scottie Pippen without Jordan. Jordan could have found another Scottie Pippen if there was no Scottie Pippen.
See,
He damn near made it out of Tony Kukoc. But we're not going there, though. We're going to stick on LeDon James, and then we're going to talk about Ja Morant going to the Portland Jailbreakers, the Jailblazers. So, I mean, come on. Memphis probably stuck it to him and was like, you know what, I'm sick of this clown. We're going to put this joker up in probably one of the worst franchises in the league. Let's send him to Portland.
So
he can't get in the gangster trouble in Portland. So what I'm saying is, going back to LeDon James, is that for him to lead the Lakers, who wouldn't want to come to LA? If you had that much power and everybody wants to play with you and you're that great, why don't you get people to come to LA? Why don't you do that?
I mean, you know, it's fascinating to me. You know, I'm just going to say this about LeBron, then I move over to Giannis and Ja. It's fascinating to me how you are just stuck on the simple fact that just because this man decided to go to a different location and win a championship, that's bad. I mean, there are a lot of, I just told you about Kevin Garnett going to Boston. I mean, he won a championship there because he couldn't win one in Minnesota.
Kevin Garnett.
Is that bad?
No,
because he chose to go to Boston to win that championship.
listen, man, what are you searching?
My thing is,
What is he searching for?
Shaq, he went to Miami. He won a championship with D Wade. I mean, and D Wade needed Shaq to win that championship.
But you know one thing you're not
So-
talking about? Hold up, let me cut me off, punch me up. You know one thing we're not talking about? We're not talking about D Wade jumping around to these teams to get him a championship. He got 2 championship rings on his own
Mhm.
without superstars.
So, okay.
And then when LeBron comes down, he
Yeah.
wins one. Kudos to D Wade. Shaq came down. They were forced to be reckoned with. Kudos to Dwayne.
Mhm.
But man, it's not like Dwayne Wade jumped around to try to find these championships. What are we doing? LeBron James is supposed to be the greatest of all time. Not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not the fifth, but the greatest.
Mhm.
Why you got to bounce around and go play on somebody else's playground?
Because the NBA is different
here you
than
go.
what it used to be.
A soap opera.
Back in the days when the NBA was hardship,
Actual
and it was
basketball.
actual basketball, people stuck to that. Now you have a different league where people jump back and forth because the opportunities present themselves like that. For instance, college football, college basketball isn't the same. You know, I mean, the NFL, guess what? It isn't the same. So, I mean, the NBA is not the same as well. And because of that, yes, the man has to jump because he's trying to express to them, look, we need to sit up here and get these players and these people. The front office is not listening. So I would move on too, because if I had that type of power. But let me just say this right quick. Let me say this right quick with Giannis. With Giannis, I'm very happy that he actually is going to Miami and he's getting out of the Bucks, because I just feel like they held him hostage there.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, he would have did too much in there, you know, from there. I mean, he's 31 years old. He needs to get out. He needs to go to a contender. He already won them a championship, of course, for the Bucks. So, I mean, he did his thing in Milwaukee. As far as Ja, I would agree with you on that one. Now, Ja needed to get his ass out of Memphis,
Memphis,
because
yeah.
he was hanging
He
around.
had the right mindset.
He was hanging around too many different people or whatever that he shouldn't be, and he needs to shed the people that he should be as well. And this goes to all the boys, or not boys, but this goes to all to the people out there who, when you make it, just because your boys or whatever, you know what I'm saying, either helped you or along your side, doesn't mean you owe them nothing. So guess what? You need to shed that. You need to grow up, and you need to sit up here and not lose your career over your friends, in which they don't sit up here and care anyway. So I'm glad he went to the Trailblazers, because you are right. He might can't get in trouble, but I'm pretty sure they got gangsters in Portland for that.
NBA's a soap opera, bro. It's a soap opera.
I mean,
Everybody
I guess-
talks about, man, oh, he's gonna make the team better, and you know, he's hooking up with this person and this person. Bro, it's a soap opera, man. It's literally moving players left and right, and especially when you get into
Wait a
the
minute.
name.
What is the difference between the simple fact of players being moved in the NBA and
you-
players being moved in the NFL?
You messed around. You said it just a second ago that it's like the college football. College football is driven by money. This NIL is driven by money.
Mhm.
And that's why these players jump from college to college. LeBron doesn't need any more money. He's not doing it for the money. Yeah, he's maybe doing it for the championship.
Mhm.
But man, sit your old ass down. I'm just tired of every freaking headline. Every time LeBron sniffs or get a cold or stub his toe,
Mhm.
it's breaking news. It's
Mhm.
a headline. It's on all your media outlets. You know, LeBron James had a thought that he may want to go visit Phoenix. Now, next thing you know, he's going down there visiting the Suns. You know, it's every little thing that LeBron do is so much of a headliner that it drives me insane.
Because he's got that type.
Let me give a shout out to your barber Bruce, right? Your barber
Uh-oh.
Bruce, man.
Oh,
I know he's a
no.
diehard LeBron fan, and I
Oh,
know.
no.
Listen, man, I know LeBron is your best favorite player ever. But man, if you and the conversation that we had last week, and I know I'm running over on time, but I got to get something off my chest,
Uh-oh.
because I read the TikTok comments. I read the TikTok comments.
Here we go. Oh,
Someone
man.
said it best in that comment, that the difference between Jalen Brunson and LeBron James, when we were talking about life and death situation. Remember that conversation? we
I
had?
do. I remember that.
We had that life and death conversation. That Jalen Brunson had that dog in him.
I remember that.
He had that dog in him that the road to the championship is gonna go through me. Give me the damn ball.
Mhm.
LeBron,
Yeah.
nah, bro. He didn't have that. LeBron has never had that in his career. He's been a good player with no bark in his bite.
So you mean to tell me this man has won 4 different championships, and you mean to tell me
a
at
supporting
any
cast.
time, in any time, he was not a clutch player for that team? Because I remember, I'm
Maybe
just
when
saying,
he read the
I
Cleveland
remember-
championship.
I
Maybe
remember-
then.
I remember when he was even in Miami or whatever, when Wade wasn't on point, when Chris Bosh wasn't on point. Guess who was on point? Who carried Miami when that happened? It was LeBron. That's just talking about Miami. Now let's move over, of course, to Cleveland. Cleveland. I mean, let's be real here. Without LeBron, Cleveland wouldn't even be on the map.
What?
I mean, they were a joke. So this man carried
So now
this franchise or whatever for years and won them a championship. And let I remind you, see, people keep forgetting about this. That year that he won that championship, guess who he was facing? He was
Steph
facing
Curry.
exactly.
Golden State.
He was facing a pimped out Golden State.
I'm not taking that championship.
Nobody thought that he was going to win.
I'm not taking that championship away from you. And I got 30 seconds. I'll let you wrap this up. But one thing I'm saying about that year in Cleveland was an exception, because that was the one time that you really saw LeBron finally take a team and put him on his back and pull it out. And if LeBron was truly the GOAT, even back then, one of the greatest players, he's going to be the greatest players. He would have had those players come to him in Cleveland, and he could have won Cleveland more than just one championship.
I do not believe that. And I think the road in which he went, I think it was the only road and the correct road for this man. And he's proven that by being an iconic.
Former NFL star Chris Johnson has revealed that he's been diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The former 2,000-yard rusher says the disease has progressed rapidly, and he now uses a speech-generating device to communicate. Johnson says he decided to share his story to help raise awareness about ALS and to show that he's still the same person despite the diagnosis. The story has shocked the entire football world. So here's the question. What responsibility does the sports community have to support its athletes when the cheers stop and the cameras go away? And what can Chris Johnson's courage in sharing his story teach the rest of us about facing adversity? What do you guys think?
Man, it's a heartbreaking story because, being from Nashville, I used to watch Chris Johnson and, even working, my ties working with the Tennessee Titans, man, that guy used to fly up and down that field. And, a lot of these professional athletes, they're in some of the best shape you can imagine. And, when you hear about stories like this, you always think to yourself, like, how and why? We all know ALS is a disease that there's no cure for it. So I dove into it, man. When I heard about it, I kind of went and looked up the disease and all it entails and everything. And it's sad. You completely lose control of everything, your entire muscle, all the muscles in your body. And so my heart breaks for him and his family, and to see such an amazing athlete so young go through this, and the pace that it's moving throughout his body. I mean, just a year ago he was diagnosed. He's saying that hey, he was just picking up his 7-year-old daughter a year ago. Now he can't even talk. So
sad.
it's sad. It is scary, and so when you think about a former athlete, especially in the NFL, perhaps if there's some type of illness or diagnosis, the first thing comes to your mind is a football related injury or issue.
Yeah.
And those are the first things come to mind: concussion, CTE, something like that. But this disease could happen to any of us.
When I first heard this story, I mean, it really, touched my heart because, let's be real here. Like, this dude used to be like a superhero on the field. I mean, you got to remember, I remember when he did his combine and he came out of
Eastern Carolina
University. And it was kind of like he was coming out of a college where nobody heard about.
Yeah.
But because he ran like a 4.240 at the combine, all of a sudden he became on people's radar. And then they didn't think that that speed was going to transition over to the actual field, and it did. And as a matter of fact, it made him a superstar, CJ2K. So to see this man basically be this phenomenal athlete that is just blazing by people to now reading with his eyes,
Yeah.
I mean, that is such heartbreaking. I mean, when I was looking at Strahan do that interview, and then of course, when I was looking at, of course, like all the stuff that he's kind of been through, I'll say this: I'm so glad that he does have a strong wife because his
Sure.
wife seems devoted. So I'm so glad that he has that type of support. But one thing that I was also thinking about was how we're we forget that these athletes are fathers. They're husbands, they're friends, they're people. They are people that deals with things just like we do. We forget that because we think of them as just entertainers who is making millions, who is celebrities getting all this stuff. We don't really think about the simple fact of they deal with hardships too.
Right.
And so, just to kind of see this, just to kind of like, see this man deteriorate in front of us, I think that too is like, something else. I mean, he is literally deteriorating in front of us, and we're seeing that.
Mhm.
I mean, to actually view that and be a witness to that, I mean, it's just heartbreaking. And, shouts out to Chris in regards, and my heart goes out to you, and my heart goes out to your wife. It really does, because she's a strong Black woman who's devoted towards, making him, better. And the great thing I like about them too is that they're not losing any hope.
Well,
Like they're going strong with it.
you have to have hope. That's what you have to have hope. That's what's going to carry you throughout each day, each process, each doctor's appointment with this, because we've known other athletes, former NFL athletes, and other just people, period, that suffered through this disease. The sad thing about it is it takes all your movement away. There's no muscle movement at all. It'll get to a point where he won't be able to swallow on his own, until the point where he won't
Jeez.
even be able to breathe on his own. So I pray like this thing slows down. They find something that slows it down, but most importantly, they find a cure, and that he's surrounded by not only just prayers but support from close family and friends.
4 years after walking away from the game, Serena Williams is back. The 23-time Grand Slam champion is returning to Wimbledon for the first-round match against rising star Maya Joint. And just like that, the biggest story in tennis became the biggest ticket in sports. So here's the question. Is this the greatest comeback attempt in sports history? Or are we about to be reminded why legends should never really return? Marquis, let's start with you.
Damn right it's gonna be something great. Because let me tell you something. I really feel like my girl Serena, I already know she's the best there ever was in the sport. Her coming back at 44, that is amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in my 40s. I'm saying that, of course, because I really believe that this woman can sit up here and throw the league back on fire. We saw her in a sense of what she looks like, and she still looks good. Now, I will say this. She looks a little tired, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, give her a little bit more time, give her a little bit more, sprints, give her a little bit more stretches. You know what I'm saying? She can basically make this happen. But another sense of why I feel this way about Serena, let me just kind of run down some different accolades to show you particularly why I believe that too. We're talking about 23 Grand Slam single titles, most Grand Slam single titles of any open era. Just one short of all-time record, of course, of Margaret Court, that was 24. She's got 7 Wimbledon championships. She was number 1 for 319 weeks in the world, including 186 consecutive weeks tied for all-time record. I mean, not to mention, she also won the 2017 Australian Open while approximately 8 weeks pregnant. So, you mean to tell me you think she can beat some girl named Maya? Please. I guarantee you, she's going to serve that girl up. What do you think about that, Terrence?
I hats off to Serena, man. I'm definitely rooting for her, being a 40+ man myself that still got it. Or at least I think I still got it. So, hey, you still got it, man. Get out there and train. She knows what it takes to get back on that stage, get back to that platform. And by all means, she has the trainers. She has the the tools, all the tools to get her back. Now, one thing you can't train for if you know, I got bad knees.
Mm.
You get bad knees, you got bad knees, man. So that's all I kept thinking about when I was watching her match. Was like, man, how these knees holding up, you know? So, but she looked good, man. You could tell she had taken some time off.
Mm.
I mean, to be away from the game and to be away from the game for 4 years and come back, man, I was just happy she won a set. So, you know, she didn't get out there and get goose egg, you know. She got out there and she won a set. I mean, you could tell there were some times that she's kind of lost her explosiveness, but she's 44 years old. Of course she's gonna lose, you know, some explosiveness. So give her a few more matches. She'll be back.
Mhm.
She'll definitely get her a victory. And so I'm happy for her. I was excited to see her back. I'm one of those fans. I think she's one of the greatest of all times
Mhm.
to ever play the sport. Man,
I think she is the greatest of all time. to ever
Oh
play
yeah,
the
yeah.
sport.
She is the greatest of all times. You're right. You know, I hope she plays till she's 60, you know. So yeah, I think to answer your question, I think she can definitely win another championship if we're talking about old folks winning championship still.
We always got to go back to the simple fact of this dude, LeBron. Don't we?
LeBron James.
We always got to go back there. But look, he's 40, and I guarantee you he can still win championships. So I feel like Serena can too. I support you, Serena. Do your thing, girl.
Well, folks, that's all the juicy sports talk we have for this week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, let us know where you stand on today's biggest debates in the comments below. Because at Bros on Pros, we want to hear from you, the fans. Well, we'll be back next week with more of the stories everyone is talking about and the opinions everyone else is afraid to say out loud.
And until next time, people, you already know the drill. Real sports, real culture, real talk. Peace.